Emma Carter had it all: a soaring career and unshakable confidence, until one innocent mistake plunged her into scandal and betrayal. Trapped in a ruthless game orchestrated by envy, Emma battles malicious rumors and devastating secrets. Amidst the chaos, she meets Alex Bennett, whose hidden identity could either destroy or save her. Will Emma reclaim her honor, find love, and survive the storm, or will jealousy rip her life apart forever? Join us on this emotional roller coaster. Tell us where you're watching from, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to uncover what happens next in Emma's powerful story. The glittering ballroom, nestled in the heart of Manhattan, buzzed with anticipation, crystal chandeliers shimmering above as New York's elite mingled beneath their gentle glow. Laughter and the clink of champagne glasses filled the air, mingling seamlessly with the subtle undercurrent of ambition. Tonight marked Ocean Prime Foods' celebration of a groundbreaking partnership with WaveCorp Enterprises, a deal destined to transform the seafood export market. At the epicenter of this success was Emma Carter, the star sales executive, whose unrelenting tenacity and charm had secured the prestigious contract. She was the undisputed queen of the evening. Yet amidst the lavish praise and warm handshakes, Emma carried an invisible weight. The constant, watchful eyes of colleagues, whose envy simmered just beneath cordial smiles. Emma stood gracefully near the bar, her sapphire gown elegantly reflecting the soft lights, highlighting her poised confidence. Known for her razor-sharp wit and unwavering focus, Emma rarely allowed herself the distraction of alcohol. Tonight, however, the air was infectious, charged with victory, making it tempting to indulge just a little. As she chatted animatedly with clients, unaware of the subtle danger lurking nearby, Vanessa Hughes observed her with a calculating glare from across the ballroom. Vanessa, Emma's elegant yet ruthless rival, had always resented her position as the perpetual runner-up. Tonight, she sensed an opportunity to strike. With a composed yet deceitful smile, Vanessa approached the bar, her sleek auburn hair catching the light. Ordering a potent Long Island iced tea, notorious for its strength, she turned toward Emma, masking the deception perfectly with practiced warmth. "You must be thirsty," Vanessa offered gently, extending the drink with an innocent gesture. "Just lemonade," she assured Emma sweetly, her voice silky and convincing. Distracted by a client's query, Emma accepted the cocktail without hesitation, taking a sip and then another, completely unaware of its potency. As the conversation flowed around her, a strange dizziness soon clouded her mind, and the vibrant ballroom blurred around the edges. She excused herself politely, her smile masking sudden panic. Her steps were unsteady, betraying her attempt at maintaining composure as she headed toward the elevators. Ocean Prime had thoughtfully booked suites for their key executives, and all Emma wanted now was to lie down and regain her clarity before tomorrow's critical meetings. Fumbling with the keycard, her vision swam as she approached her suite, mistakenly swiping into room 1210 instead of 1209. The door clicked open, revealing a dimly lit space she assumed was hers. Emma stumbled forward, oblivious to the luxurious decor that hinted this was not her room. Her eyes heavy and legs trembling, she collapsed onto the plush sofa, sinking immediately into exhausted oblivion. She was entirely unaware of the figure quietly resting behind the bedroom's partially open door, a man already deeply asleep. The suite belonged to Alex Bennett, the enigmatic CEO of WaveCorp Enterprises, who had quietly arrived at the event undercover as Alex Blake, a simple executive assistant. Alex was known for his discretion and quiet intensity, a billionaire who preferred observation over ostentation. With tousled dark hair and striking, introspective eyes, Alex had spent the evening carefully noting Ocean Prime's inner workings, far removed from any suspicion. Now, deep in sleep, he was utterly oblivious to Emma's accidental intrusion. Morning sunlight broke through the curtains, spilling warmly across Emma's face. She awoke with a start, her head throbbing as she sat up disoriented on the unfamiliar sofa. Her pulse quickened with confusion as her gaze fell upon a man's jacket casually draped over a chair. Sudden realization surged through her, filling her with dread. Her mind scrambled to piece together the fragments of last night: the drink, her dizziness, the wrong door. Believing Alex to be merely a fellow colleague or hotel staffer, embarrassment engulfed her. Frantically collecting her belongings, she noticed a business card slip from her purse onto the coffee table. Impulsively, with shaking fingers, Emma scrawled a quick note on its back, desperate to preserve some dignity. "Thanks for the sofa. Please don't tell my boss. Coffee's on me. Emma C." Heart pounding, she fled the room, unaware of the chain reaction her simple mistake had ignited, and how the enigmatic man she left behind would soon shatter her carefully ordered world. The bright morning sun streamed through the glass walls of Ocean Prime Foods' sleek Manhattan office, casting gentle rays across desks bustling with activity and ambition. Emma Carter sat at her desk, shoulders squared, eyes locked onto the computer screen as she reviewed contract details meticulously. Despite her outward composure, embarrassment lingered stubbornly at the edges of her mind, the awkward memory of last night's mistake still vivid. Determined to shake off her unease, she inhaled deeply, reminding herself that her reputation was built on confidence and resilience. No single misstep would change that. The subtle buzz of conversation suddenly shifted, an unusual ripple passing through the open-plan office. Emma glanced up and her heart dropped sharply. Standing casually near the entrance was Alex Blake, the man from the hotel suite, looking as unassuming yet undeniably confident as before. He was dressed neatly in a modest navy suit, but his eyes carried a playful glint, scanning the room with unmistakable purpose. Panic surged within Emma as Alex's gaze settled directly upon her. Before she could gather her thoughts, he walked calmly forward, holding up a familiar business card. A smile tugged at the corner of his mouth, gentle yet teasing. "Coffee sounds great, Miss Carter." Alex spoke clearly, his voice intentionally loud enough to draw curious glances from nearby colleagues. A wave of whispers immediately followed, spreading swiftly through the office. Emma felt her cheeks flush deeply, her pulse racing in confusion and embarrassment. "Who is this guy?" she muttered under her breath, desperate to appear composed despite the growing audience around her. Alex's expression softened slightly, but his eyes still danced with mischievous amusement. He extended his hand calmly, introducing himself as Wave Corp's assistant liaison, a title vague enough to fuel suspicion in Emma's cautious mind. His confident presence and the ease with which he commanded attention hinted at something beyond his stated role, something he clearly enjoyed concealing. Emma stammered momentarily, an unusual lapse in her typically unshakable demeanor. I don't recall exactly what you're talking about," she said, attempting to regain her footing, though the words felt hollow even as she spoke them. Nearby, Jake Patterson, a young, loyal assistant assigned to Wave Corp's team, watched the exchange with obvious delight. "Looks like you've made quite an impression, Alex," he chuckled quietly, unaware that his casual teasing would soon ignite deeper rumors within the office. Across the room, Vanessa Hughes observed the scene intently, her calculating eyes narrowing as she processed the tension radiating between Emma and Alex. She sensed vulnerability and seized it immediately, leaning toward a coworker and whispering softly yet audibly, "Seems Emma partied a little too hard last night." Vanessa's subtle implications spread quickly, the whispers evolving into something sharper, more malicious. Emma, feeling eyes burning into her back, forced herself to remain professional, turning to address Alex directly, her tone controlled yet edged with irritation. "Shall we discuss business, Mr. Blake?" Alex's gaze lingered a moment longer than necessary, the playful spark in his eyes fading slightly into something more genuine, an intrigue that hinted at deeper layers hidden beneath his carefully constructed facade. He nodded smoothly, easing the tension only slightly as the meeting officially began. As presentations unfolded around her, Emma found herself unusually distracted, her thoughts repeatedly pulled toward Alex. She stole subtle glances, studying his demeanor, the way he effortlessly blended authority with an approachable charm. Something about him felt off, his quiet confidence too assured for someone merely in an assistant role. He was clearly hiding something, and the realization unsettled her deeply. Emma was accustomed to reading people swiftly, yet Alex Blake remained a frustrating puzzle, his intentions concealed beneath layers of ambiguity. Unbeknownst to Emma, Alex watched her just as carefully, quietly fascinated by the fierce, determined woman whose accidental intrusion had disrupted his carefully structured plans. Her hurried note from that morning was tucked securely in his pocket, a small yet captivating mystery he was determined to solve. As the meeting concluded, tension hung thick in the air, fueled by unanswered questions and brewing intrigue. Emma silently resolved to maintain her distance, wary of Alex's enigmatic charm and the undeniable chemistry simmering beneath their professional exchanges. She could sense Vanessa's predatory gaze upon her, waiting for another mistake. Emma steeled herself, unaware that Alex's curiosity was deepening, drawing him irresistibly closer to her world. Both sensed instinctively that last night's accidental encounter was merely the first chapter of a complicated, unpredictable story. 2 weeks after the unsettling meeting, tensions within Ocean Prime Foods remained palpable, hanging like an invisible fog over the sleek, glass-walled offices. Emma threw herself fully into her work, determined to quell the whispers sparked by Alex's enigmatic appearance. Yet Vanessa Hughes, sensing opportunity in chaos, prepared her next calculated strike. Carefully granted temporary access to the company's security system for a minor side project, Vanessa recognized a prime chance for sabotage. A quiet smirk creased her lips as she quietly overrode the electronic locks leading to the company's remote storage facility, deliberately trapping Emma and Jake Patterson, Alex's young assistant, inside. The cold hit them immediately, a bitter chill seeping through their clothes. Emma quickly realized their predicament was no mere accident. Her breath crystallized in small clouds as she tested the heavy metal door, her pulse quickening with growing frustration. "This wasn't a coincidence," she murmured sharply, pulling fruitlessly at the immovable handle. Jake shifted nervously nearby, rubbing his arms through his thin blazer. The normally vibrant assistant's humor felt oddly subdued. "At least we're not stuck in an elevator. I hate confined spaces," Jake quipped awkwardly, trying to lighten the oppressive mood. Emma shot him a stern look, unamused, but softened slightly upon seeing the genuine anxiety in his eyes. Minutes stretched endlessly, turning slowly into an hour. With no cell signal penetrating the thick concrete walls, Emma felt an unfamiliar helplessness creeping in. To distract herself, and perhaps Jake, she began pacing, keeping her mind alert against the cold. As silence settled in deeper, Jake eventually opened up, quietly admitting he was desperate to prove himself to Alex, who he admired deeply. Emma listened attentively, struck by the earnest vulnerability Jake revealed. Something about his sincerity warmed the chill slightly, prompting her own guarded walls to lower. In a rare moment of openness, Emma admitted her constant fear of losing her professional edge, the pressure of constantly proving her worth weighing heavily upon her. Jake nodded knowingly, recognizing the anxiety of living under constant expectation. 2 painstaking hours passed before a loud crash resonated from outside the sealed door. Moments later, the door swung open forcefully, revealing Alex Bennett, his expression a complex mixture of relief and quiet fury. Emma's heart skipped involuntarily at his sudden appearance, an unwanted warmth surging through her as their eyes met. Alex quickly stepped forward, his voice gentle yet tense with genuine concern. "Emma, are you all right?" he asked softly, his fingers grazing her arm in subtle reassurance. Instinctively, Emma pulled away, forcing a brisk nod and adopting her characteristic composure. "Just get us out of here," she replied sharply, masking the turmoil swirling within her chest. Her fleeting vulnerability vanished swiftly, replaced once more by steely determination. Back at headquarters, the incident sparked an immediate internal investigation, but Vanessa cunningly covered her tracks, attributing the security breach to an unfortunate system glitch. Despite the official explanation, Emma's suspicion grew relentlessly. Driven by an unshakable instinct, she spent late nights secretly digging through obscure security logs, piecing together clues that slowly confirmed her worst fears. Vanessa was actively working against her. Vanessa, emboldened by her successful sabotage, pushed further. Determined to dismantle Emma's career completely, she secretly hired a skilled hacker to infiltrate and manipulate Emma's meticulously kept sales records, inserting subtle discrepancies calculated to raise alarm. Within days, whispers of possible fraud reached management ears, placing Emma under an intense scrutiny that threatened her professional credibility. Feeling increasingly cornered, Emma turned reluctantly to Liam Harper, a charismatic freelancer known for creative problem-solving and quick thinking under pressure. Liam had built a quiet reputation around the office for his easy charm and humor, often providing a welcome distraction from workplace tension. Though initially hesitant, Emma quickly found comfort in Liam's easygoing manner. His jokes effortlessly coaxed reluctant smiles from her weary face, his carefree demeanor a balm to her frayed nerves. "You know, Emma, you're like Wonder Woman," Liam teased gently, sensing the weight upon her shoulders. "Nobody's taken you down without a fight." Emma laughed softly, grateful for this unexpected source of levity amidst growing turmoil. Yet deep inside, worry gnawed persistently. She couldn't shake the uneasy sense that Vanessa's sinister game had only just begun, each escalating sabotage pushing Emma closer to an unknown breaking point. As Liam's comforting presence steadied her nerves, she vowed silently that no matter how far Vanessa went, she would face the storm head-on. Her resilience tested, but far from broken. In the weeks that followed, tension between Emma and Alex intensified, fueled by whispered rumors and misunderstandings. Despite the turmoil surrounding her professional life, Emma couldn't deny the quiet flutter she felt whenever Alex walked into the room. His subtle gestures, like leaving her coffee during late meetings, a gentle encouragement amid chaos, created confusion within her carefully guarded heart. Yet every time she felt herself warming to him, whispers from colleagues would rekindle her doubts. Jake Patterson, believing he was shielding Alex from distraction, had inadvertently spread tales about Alex's supposed playboy lifestyle, painting him as a charming yet superficial executive who left a trail of broken hearts at every company he touched. These rumors stung Emma deeply, reinforcing her resolve to keep Alex at arm's length. Seizing upon this tension, Vanessa's schemes escalated dramatically. She approached Liam Harper, Emma's newfound confidant, with an offer he felt unable to refuse: cash in exchange for publicly playing the role of Emma's boyfriend, a tactic meant to embarrass Emma and create a lasting rift between her and Alex. Reluctantly, burdened by overdue rent and the pressure of survival, Liam agreed, though his conscience was troubled deeply. The scene unfolded dramatically at an after-hours company event held in an upscale bar, glittering softly under dim, golden lights. Emma stood quietly near the bar, carefully nursing a glass of sparkling water, when Liam entered, approaching her with forced enthusiasm. He slung an arm casually around her shoulders, his voice deliberately loud as he called her affectionately, "Babe," his eyes betraying a flicker of apology. Emma stiffened instinctively, shock rippling through her as colleagues turned abruptly to stare, their eyes widening in surprise. Across the room, Alex's expression shifted immediately, an unreadable mask falling over his face. His jaw tightened visibly, eyes briefly flickering with hurt before they hardened into steely neutrality. "Didn't realize you had a type, Carter," Alex murmured coldly as he turned abruptly away, pushing past a group of whispering coworkers and leaving Emma standing stunned, embarrassment burning hotly on her cheeks. Laughter and low murmurs rippled through the crowd, each chuckle sharpening Emma's shame like tiny daggers. Liam sensed her discomfort instantly, leaning closer to whisper urgently, "Emma, I'm sorry. I needed the money. I never meant." He faltered, guilt thick in his voice. Emma nodded numbly, barely registering his words. Her mind was elsewhere, replaying Alex's wounded look, feeling the painful sting of misunderstanding deepening the already wide chasm between them. She excused herself hastily, retreating to the solitude of her apartment to process the escalating turmoil. Days later, exhaustion overwhelmed Emma, her body inexplicably heavy, her mind clouded by persistent fatigue and nausea. Concerned, she visited her doctor, the diagnosis striking like a lightning bolt: she was pregnant. Shock turned quickly into confusion as fragmented memories of the hazy night at the hotel returned forcefully. Panic rose sharply within her, the stark realization that her life stood poised on a precipice, teetering dangerously. The news, unfortunately, did not remain private for long. Vanessa, leveraging a hospital insider, swiftly spread a vicious rumor claiming Liam was the father of Emma's unborn child. The office erupted into scandal, whispers reaching Alex quickly, further fueling the hurt he harbored. Confronting Emma in the quiet corridor outside her office, his voice tense and barely restrained, Alex asked directly, "Is it true about you and Liam?" Emma felt her heart constrict painfully, pride and confusion tangling her words. "Not everything is your business," she snapped, defensive instinct overtaking her usual calm. She turned sharply, leaving Alex standing in shocked silence, the gap between them widening yet again. That night, alone in her dimly lit apartment, Emma wrestled with overwhelming despair. Cradling the ultrasound photo gently and shaking hands, she considered her options, her future feeling uncertain and frighteningly solitary. Tearfully, she reached out to her sister, her voice cracking as she admitted softly, "I can't do this alone." Her sister's quiet encouragement steadied her, gently reminding Emma of the strength she had always possessed. Still, fear and uncertainty gripped her heart tightly, her thoughts racing in turmoil. Unbeknownst to her, Alex grappled privately with his feelings of hurt and betrayal. Realizing slowly that the rumors surrounding Liam might be unfounded, Alex's conflicted heart began to soften. Confronting Jake directly, he learned the truth about the exaggerated Playboy rumors, his assistant admitting quietly, "I just wanted to protect you. I'm sorry." "You like her, don't you?" Jake asked tentatively, breaking the silence between them. Alex sighed heavily, admitting softly, "More than I ever planned." Determined to unravel the web of deceit and misunderstanding surrounding them, Alex resolved firmly to uncover the truth, no matter the consequences. The boardroom of Ocean Prime Foods buzzed with tension, an invisible storm swirling within its sleek glass walls. Emma Carter sat silently at the polished conference table, her posture rigid, her hands clasped tightly in her lap as whispers about the anonymous fraud accusations and her rumored pregnancy filled the air. She could feel every pair of eyes fixed upon her, each glance heavy with doubt and judgment. Across the table, Vanessa Hughes sat poised and confident, barely hiding the smirk of triumph curving subtly at the edges of her lips. The carefully planted evidence had worked perfectly, pushing Emma closer to ruin. As the finance director presented damaging figures alleging Emma had inflated her sales commissions, Vanessa leaned forward with practiced concern, her voice smooth and falsely sympathetic. "Emma has always done great work here. But these discrepancies raise serious concerns. We must act swiftly to protect our company's reputation." Murmurs of agreement rippled around the table, deepening Emma's sinking feeling. She opened her mouth, desperate to defend herself, but the weight of recent weeks, the relentless scrutiny, vicious gossip, and now the quiet knowledge of her pregnancy, made her voice falter painfully. Her heart ached with betrayal and exhaustion. At that very moment, Alex Blake, who had remained conspicuously silent, suddenly stood with quiet authority, his commanding voice cutting through the tension. "Enough, this stops right now." The board members exchanged surprised glances at his audacity, confusion evident on their faces. Vanessa's expression hardened instantly. Alex stepped forward, his calm demeanor giving way to unwavering resolve as he looked directly at Emma, his voice firm yet gentle. "I haven't been entirely honest with all of you. My name isn't Alex Blake, it's Alex Bennett, CEO of Wave Corp Enterprises." Gasps erupted around the table, eyes widening in disbelief. Emma's breath caught sharply, her mind spinning in shock. The man she'd thought was merely an enigmatic assistant, now revealed as the billionaire CEO, whose contract was central to their future. Vanessa paled visibly, the confidence rapidly draining from her face. Alex pressed on forcefully. "Emma Carter is the sole reason our company agreed to partner with Ocean Prime. These allegations are false, fabricated by someone with malicious intent." Vanessa stood abruptly, her voice edged with desperation. "You're biased. You're protecting Emma for personal reasons." Alex turned toward her, his gaze icy and unflinching. "Personal or not, I recognize deception when I see it." The boardroom door suddenly opened, interrupting the stunned silence. Liam Harper entered hesitantly, his typically easygoing demeanor replaced by determined seriousness. He stepped forward, holding up his phone, his voice clear and unwavering. "I have something the board needs to hear." He played a recording, Vanessa's unmistakable voice filling the room, coldly detailing her plan to sabotage Emma's reputation. Her words echoed sharply, undeniably condemning her own actions. Faces around the table hardened with shock and anger, all directed toward Vanessa, whose confident facade finally crumbled entirely. Emma stared at Liam, gratitude mixed with lingering disbelief. Gathering her courage, she turned slowly toward Vanessa, her voice calm yet firm. "You tried to destroy everything I've worked for. Why?" Cornered, Vanessa snapped bitterly, her composure shattered. "You've always been untouchable, Emma, the golden girl. I simply evened the playing field." The finance director's voice interrupted sternly. Vanessa Hughes, you are immediately suspended pending a full investigation and legal review. Vanessa glared fiercely at Emma as security led her from the room. The silence afterward was deafening. Emma, though vindicated, stood shakily, her voice quiet yet resolute. I resign, effective immediately. Protests erupted around her, but Emma shook her head firmly, conviction clear in her gaze. I've given everything to this company. It's time to start over. She turned swiftly, stepping out into the bustling Manhattan street, her heart heavy yet strangely free. Back inside, Alex stared after her, conflicted emotions swirling within him. He moved to follow, but Jake gently grasped his arm. She needs space, Alex. She's hurting. Outside, Emma clutched her purse tightly, the ultrasound photo safely tucked within. Her phone buzzed softly. A text from Liam. I'm sorry, Emma. Let me make this right. She hesitated but didn't reply, her heart still overwhelmed by betrayal and lingering hope. Determined, Alex instructed Jake urgently, find out where she's going. I need to talk to her. Jake hesitated, observing Alex's obvious concern. You're really falling for her, aren't you? Alex didn't answer, his eyes reflecting a truth deeper than words. In that moment, he understood that Emma was worth every risk. Meanwhile, Emma stood quietly on the crowded sidewalk, heart pounding, uncertain of her next move yet feeling strength slowly returning. She didn't yet realize it, but Alex's revelation and her own courage had set something powerful into motion, an irreversible change that promised both redemption and an unexpected chance at happiness. This powerful story reminds us that integrity, resilience, and truth ultimately triumph over deceit and envy. Emma's journey underscores the importance of staying true to oneself, even amidst intense adversity and malicious schemes. Her unwavering dedication and inner strength allowed her to face betrayal head-on, proving that personal authenticity and moral courage carry the greatest rewards. The narrative also highlights the destructive nature of envy, shown vividly through Vanessa's downfall, revealing how jealousy and unethical ambition inevitably lead to ruin. Alex's role teaches us the value of honesty, vulnerability, and courage in relationships, demonstrating how genuine connections are built on openness rather than hidden motives. Liam's redemption reveals another profound lesson. It's never too late to choose integrity over convenience, reminding us all of the human capacity for change and growth. Ultimately, this story affirms the power of second chances, emphasizing that mistakes and misunderstandings can pave the way for deeper relationships and self-discovery. No matter how challenging life becomes, courageously embracing truth and compassion enables us to heal, learn, and thrive. As we reflect on Emma and Alex's emotional journey, we're encouraged to confront our own challenges with bravery and resilience, confident that truth and love will always find a way. So, where are you watching from today? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell icon to stay updated with our latest heartfelt stories and inspirational journeys. Your support means the world to us. Thank you for being part of our community.